now. I think my whole body is just sore. I was gonna go back to bed, but I'm like, it's already 8:30, so I guess I'll stream it. I guess I'll stream it. These things happen. I'm sore from walking all that distance during the con, and then I fell like the day after the con, so body's just kind of jacked up. It's a good excuse to just play this.
I pray.
Yeah, I might go to the chiropractor soon if it doesn't go away, but I'll probably just have to not walk as much as I normally do for a while, which isn't really a bad thing.
Not in town.
Pull up the guide I was using for this. There we go. I gotta play my own music over this. Not really big into Diablo music. The only Diablo music I remember is Tristram. Like the only Diablo I played a lot of was 2. 3 I played probably the second most, but that was only a pretty big difference. I mean, I was a teenager when 2 came out, so I used to play with my little friends I had in school. My mom played as well. My mom is a hardcore gamer.
I'm not ready yet.
I'm playing this right now, actually. I was playing it last night. I think I only needed like 3 pieces of that, right? Yeah. By the time I knock out this quest, I should be good to go. No, they learn from their mistakes. They're not doing that this time. They realized how stupid of an idea that was. Because they tried that with DFO. They tried that with DFO. So the Korean version of DFO tried that. It's called Geary's Promise. I've explained this before, but basically in that game to upgrade stuff, it's like RNG. So the way that they tried to fix it is they tried to have an event where you could pay real money and like not have the weapon or the item break. So people started spending insane amounts of money to not have their weapons break, and it completely broke the entire game. You know, nobody wanted to take a free player anymore because they were so much weaker than somebody that could pay that amount of real money. The way that they fixed it was basically just doing power creep. They just did like a level cap so that even the people that spent that much money, they didn't have an advantage anymore. It was a really stupid idea. Sure, it made them a lot of money. I'm sure their earnings report looked really good, but it pissed off people. Because in a way it was worse than people buying gold. This is basically encouraging it. I imagine it probably devalued the cash packages as well, which I think really bit them in the ass, because that's like the legal way to buy gold in that game. That doesn't break the rules. Is you spend like $30 or whatever it is on the package, and you sell it to people for the in-game money. Which is like one of the biggest ways they make money from dolphins. Like I would buy like 1 or 2 of those packages sometimes just to fund my character. I think the problem with the real money auction house is it made the game not a loot game anymore. It's like not a loot game anymore because you can't have stuff drop constantly when everything that drops can make people actual real world money.
It is done.
It's one of those examples of something that seems good on paper, but then actually doing it really bit them in the ass. It wasn't what they wanted. Yeah, you can't make the loot worth real money and have enough loot to drop, you know, to make the game actually fun to play at the same time. It's gotta be one or the other. Yeah, this is the Rogue. What's up, man? I saw you just dropped a video. I gotta watch that later. Yeah, the announcement's in like 15 minutes, so I'm just playing this for a little bit, and I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to that game, to that stream shortly.
Watch your back, eh?
I might stream a little bit after, but I'm pretty tired from the injury and everything.
This
I think Kiri's Promise is one of the stupidest things that a service game has ever done. The stuff that they did in Avengers, like straight up lying about the experience boosters never being free, that has nothing on Kiri's Promise. Kiri's Promise was just greed. Greed without thinking of the consequences. Let's just make it so somebody can spend like the amount of a down payment on a car or a house and just get broken overpowered, so that nobody wants to ever play with a free player, somebody who doesn't have that kind of money. What a great idea. Oh, I need weapons.
Are we buying or selling?
Well, yeah, if you can't trade, then RMT pretty much gets stopped.
I've many fine pieces.
PSO2 was like
Rare
that.
and beautiful.
You couldn't really trade anything in that game unless you paid for premium, and like the bots obviously
All right, traveler.
don't want to pay. They don't want to pay for every account because that's an obscene amount of money. The whole thing about botting and stuff is keeping it like really cheap. You know, they get like really cheap ass computers and just like the bare minimum to run the game and farm the gold. That's like all they're really after. And having to pay like $10 a month on every account is huge. That's a lot of money for them, for the company too. The problem with PSO2 trying to solve things by doing that was that you could barely trade anything that was actually worth a damn. So at the beginning, it felt like their way of trying to beat RMT kind of hurt the game in a way, because you couldn't trade anything. And unlike this game, you know, there was an auction house. It's just you couldn't trade anything that was really useful. Towards the end of the game's lifespan, you could trade a decent amount of stuff. You could at least like start your build. But I think the game was kind of on a decline at that point anyway. So yeah, it's interesting to think about.
Oh, bad hair bit of magic. It seems your prayers have been answered. Oh, bad luck. Try again. Very nice, but could be better.
No, no, the way PSO2 did it wasn't too bad. But at the beginning, it definitely felt like, yeah, I can't trade anything that's actually worth something. I can't, like, get, like, any help with my build because everything that's worthwhile is untradeable to stop RMT.
Worry not, Beta. The cathedral will not abandon you.
But that game definitely did. They definitely did pretty much eliminate RMT. The fact that you had to pay to trade really hurt that stuff a lot. Like a huge amount. Because, you know, the people that do those kinds of things as a business, they have like thousands of accounts, if not tens of thousands. So think about paying like $10 a month for the premium. $10 a month for the premium, like, for thousands of accounts. That's a lot of money. That's probably the only game I played where they actually managed to beat that. It's one of the few games where it's like, no, they actually did kind of just beat, they beat RMT.
Fairly well.
DFO's kind of gotten there as well. I mean, the global version has, like, I don't really think it has any gold sellers anymore, from what I can tell. I haven't played the game in a while. It does feel like, for the most part, they actually have beaten it. Which is pretty impressive, honestly. But that game's monetization kind of discourages it anyway, because the package is a better deal, and you don't get banned for it. You know, you just pay, like, if you're gonna cash on the game at all, just spend like $30. Just spend like $30 and then sell the stuff that's in it. Which is like instant gratification because you don't have to go through a gold farmer site. And then you're supporting the game and you're not doing things you're not supposed to do. So it's a win-win for everybody, really. Alright, I think my build's fixed. They generally add one class. I think Diablo 1 had the monk, 2 had the assassin and the druid, and then 3 had the necromancer. But this game is basically just an MMO cosplaying as a action RPG, so this game will probably have the most content because they got the cash shop up and everything, so I don't know, I don't think they're going to get away with just doing one expansion if they're trying to charge people $20 for skins. I think that's pushing it.
It's colder down here than out there.
A sure sign of demonic presence.
I think people are going to expect, if they're trying to make long-term money off it,
Take my chalice.
then I would assume that they're going to add more stuff to this game.
Sister, I know the cathedral's
Because it'd be kind of scummy to charge for skins
burn the person possessed.
if they're not going to, like, actually support
Some
the
of
game.
clergy can be eager.
I'll check it out when it comes out, yeah.
That won't happen here.
Oh, praise
The game's just kind of already dead, though, so I don't know how much I really care.
Father Inarius, as I shed my wicked blood, let it be purified in thy light. Let the light feel the darkness.
That game is a good example of the opposite of Street Fighter 6. It's not worth the money. Only thing in the game is PvP.
Let the light push out the darkness.
Come on, can I skip this?
Father, force this demon out.
Come on, hurry up. I need to be able to skip this stuff. I don't care. Finally.
His soul is mine.
Father, protect this child. With
Dude,
your
shut up.
grace.
Come on. Go faster. Oh, it's this guy.
I command you to flee this body.
Flee this cutscene. Shut up.
No. No.
It is done.
Mega Man boss side quest.
Can you hear me?
It takes her like 5 minutes to summon the boss, and the boss is dead in like 5 seconds. Classic Mega Man speedrun fight. It takes longer for the health bar to spawn and the explosion than the actual fight.
My boy.
Still talking.
Oh, Father. You're all right. Thank you, sister.
You're welcome. I'm sure I will see you at the next service, yes, Peter? Right in the front pew?
Of course, sister, of course.
Let us give them a moment. Speak to me outside. You did well.
Keep it.
Yeah, Street Fighter 6 is good for fighting games. Actually taking things seriously. Not giving us $60 games that only have PvP and nothing else in them at all. I think people are getting really sick of that. DNF Duel burnt a lot of people. That game is fun. It's not a bad game. It's just for the asking price, it doesn't really give you a lot. I mean, shit, you could go get like Blaze Blue or Persona for like a third of the price. like those games actually have stuff to do. There's a story mode and there's like single player modes and stuff. I could say the same about KOF 15 as well. I feel kind of burnt buying that game because the matchmaking hasn't worked in like a year. And there's nothing else to do in that game but PvP. The PvP is broken. The PvP is broken and there's nothing else in the game. Like, that's all there is. I think the fact that it's just there for people is enough for some. People seem kind of mixed on World Tour in Street Fighter 6, but it's still good that it's there because the game is selling a ton of copies. And it's gonna tell future fighting game developers that, like, yeah, don't release your game with bare bones stuff that hasn't changed since the 90s. I've been playing fighting games for 30 years, and it's interesting how much they've regressed in terms of having like actual content. To think about how Street Fighter V had no arcade mode. I grew up in the late 80s, early 90s,
What is
right?
cracking, everyone? Welcome to the GC4, the Guerrilla
Freaking
Collective
Street Fighter
2023
2 on the
Summer
SNES
Barbecue
had arcade
Beach
mode.
House Festival Showcase.
How does Street Fighter
We are
5,
bringing the
like,
heat that is going to set the
25
tone
years later,
for things
not
to
have
come
that at
during
launch?
this wild week of gaming events.
That's a
I'm your
perfect
host,
example of the
J-Dub,
decline of
aka
fighting games.
Justin Woodward, co-founder of
Shit
the
like
Mix,
Soul
the Media
Calibur as
Indie
well on
Exchange,
Dreamcast.
and Terabang Entertainment.
I wasn't competitive
advisor
at that
on
game.
The
I
Black
still
Game
played a lot of it,
Developer
'cause
Fund
there was
and
single-player
Black
modes.
Voices in Gaming.
It's pretty
I'm with
sad,
my lovely
honestly,
co-host,
how much things
the
have
talented
declined.
Jay
I'd
Watts.
say the same for Tekken
Jay.
7 as
What's
well.
up, Justin? I am Jay Watts,
Tekken had,
artistically known as Letta J, and I am the founder and CEO.
A lot of single-player
Course
content,
Entertainment.
and then 7
we are
drops and
starting
it
off
has
this week of
nothing.
gaming showcases and events, which has come full circle with us filming at the Kind of Funny studio in San Francisco. Shout out to the KF team. Some history about the GC. The Guerrilla Collective was created due to the fallout of 2020 and no in-person E3. So we decided to come together with publishers, developers, game enthusiasts to organize and deploy showcases, guerrilla marketing style, and add some flavor and style by giving folks a creative jolt this summer.
We're definitely giving people that flavor, that jolt. This year is no different. We are sparking off the summer sizzle by dropping some exclusive game drops, reveals, updates, and developer commentary for their titles. It doesn't stop there, though. After this show, we will pass the mic to our friends who will be making some more reveals and drops at the Guerrilla Collective Publisher Spotlight Show, featuring awesome new game announcements from Freedom Games, Hype Train Digital, and Tiny Build. If you're in LA, we got some more stuff happening, so it doesn't stop there. In LA, we're going to be invading the scene with 40 new games at Wisdom for a lot, and we have a live stream with our partners Viz and The Completionist. More info at MediaIndieExchange.com, and we will also follow things up next week with Black Voices in Gaming and Dames for Games, which highlights Black game developers and women in the game industry. Check us out on Twitter at Guerrilla Collect, not Guerrilla Collect, and at Indie Exchange, and everywhere else at Guerrilla Collective and Media Indie Exchange. Make sure to tune in into our Twitch, subscribe to our YouTube channels as well.
The developers and publishers on the stream have blessed us with the
Mr. Graham, a lot of
from
people
games
really
in their
like
catalog.
Tekken Force mode.
When you see the following
was-
QR
that was,
code, grab your phone,
like peak
take a flick,
single-player
your
fighting
chance
game
to
content
grab
for a lot of
great
people.
game.
A lot
We've
of people
also
just
teamed
played
up
that. You
with
could
the
say the same for
exquisite
Soul
folks
Calibur as
at
well.
Valve to showcase our
Edge
streams
Master
on
modes
their
and
platform
Conquest
in order
modes
to
and stuff.
support the
Like, people will
devs.
just play that
Be sure to check out the event page on Steam.
not care
where
about
you can
competitive
wishlist,
PvP.
buy, or
Which, I mean, back
play the
then there
games
was no
that are
online,
featured
so
in
it
this
was
event.
even more important.
Definitely
you know?
do that. It
You couldn't-
always helps.
couldn't
And we
compete in the
also
games
have
at
some
all
amazing
unless you had, like, a
sponsors.
local
We want
scene
to give a
or,
big shout out to all of
you had a
them
place where you
for
could play the
helping
arcade
us to
version.
make this thing happen. Freedom, Hype
I guess
Train
they think
Digital,
that now that there's
PlayStation,
NetPlay,
Raw
that
Fury,
they
Tiny
can not
Build,
include that
Symbol
stuff, but
Entertainment,
I think Street
Aquapara,
Fighter 6 has
Astro,
proven them
Hero
wrong.
Craft, Joystick Ventures, Neon Doctrine, Ravenage,
Because
Razor,
World Tour is kind of just
Steam, I
like
was
a
about to
really
say
long
Stream,
tutorial with
Yes
like extra
Bird,
fun
Wired
stuff to do.
Productions, and
And it's
Experience
easing people into
Studios,
fighting games,
such a
which is really
mouthful.
cool.
Yes, and shout out to our broadcasting
It's not really
partners
fun
for
just
shooting
watching
the
a video
showcase and the
trying to
developers
digest all
on the
this information
stream.
if you haven't
Twitch, IGN,
done all that stuff
GameSpot,
before.
Steam,
But having
and
a mode that
Kinda
teaches
Funny
you
for
slowly and
hosting
encourages
us.
you to learn
Big
is pretty
up
awesome.
for the developers, always
And the
showing
fact
love
that, like,
to the
if you
devs
never step
who are
online, you're
participating
still getting a
and
good,
all
like,
that have
20
contributed
hours
their games
out of a
and
fighting game
resources
is actually
to make
pretty
this thing
good, I
possible.
would say.
Yes, they are so awesome. But enough of all that. Let's get started with our first set of games this summer with some undeniable bangers, beginning with a world premiere trailer. Let's go.
Let's go.
No, we're gonna... some furry game. I guess they're gonna make me wait for Dawn of the Monsters, huh? They catfished me. That's the only reason I'm watching this. There might be like one other game I like. That's the only reason I'm here is for Dawn of the Monsters. This is like when you go into a restaurant, like a fast food place, or like Starbucks, and they try to upsell you on everything. I'm like, no, I'm just here for the coffee.
It will become a mountain.
I just want to order fries to go with my sandwich.
Is where truth transfers.
I just want like one coffee.
A tale can
I
be
don't
told
want scones
in
or
evening.
chips or anything. Like, I just
A
want that one
legend
thing.
takes decades to build.
That's kind of how I'm feeling right now. I don't really think there'll be too much else I'll care about. That they're gonna drip feed it. The one thing I'm here for.
To preserve a legacy that is larger than life, you will need to start a dynasty.
Oh, they announced Shredder's Revenge DLC. They put Yojimbo in the game, and he actually looks like he plays differently. Which is like my biggest complaint with that game, is how just one-dimensional it was. That's pretty awesome. Looks like it's going to be a roguelike mode. Which I think that game could also use as well, because the casual playthrough is a little bit long.
We were created by man to
They said
protect
characters,
him.
plural, not just one, so... Maybe they'll be like Streets 4 characters, where they're like more fun to play in some ways. Seems like they're listening to the complaints.
Sure, his
I just think that game is just not a bad game at all, especially after they nerfed the taunt, but it just doesn't have any depth. Like if you took the license and the graphics and the music, the presentation away, like it wouldn't really be that great of a beat 'em up.
We are
What they showed in the trailer, I was just watching it on my phone. It actually looked pretty good. I'm sure the bosses are still going to be in hyper armor, but at least you'll have different ways to fight them. I kept telling people, like, yeah, they should not add more characters to that game until they know how to escape that template of just like one or two minute differences. It's like no one's gonna like that either. It seems like they're listening. I mean, the game sold an insane amount of copies, so they've got money to fix it. I just think it pales in comparison to Streets 4.
Nobody is beyond redemption, Chelsea. Nobody. No matter who they are or what they've done. The right path is always there. If we choose to walk it.
I sacrificed my health, my body, my life, everything. What do you want?
My employers have a job for you. You ever heard of the Underground Fight Championship?
Oh, the game is still being played, Chelsea.
Does this have any
You just
gameplay, or
never
is this just an
realized it
interactive movie?
because you're
It's looking like the
only a
latter.
pawn.
the hell is
You
this?
want me to keep a secret? That's gonna cost you.
This game will probably be better if it doesn't have gameplay, to be honest. Yeah, it looks pretty janky. That's the thing about indie games, man. Some of them have, like, beautiful... This game looks awesome. It's probably not going to be that great to play. And then there's stuff like Assault Spy, which, like, looks like a bargain bin PS2 game, but has, like, amazing gameplay.
I don't know who.
That's pretty much indie games in a nutshell.
I'm coming for you.
They go all in on the graphics, but then, like, actually playing it is not that fun. Or you get, like, really bare-bones graphical presentation, and then the gameplay, you put, like, 100 hours into it. That's pretty much what Assault Spy is. Assault Spy looks way worse than DMC5, but the gameplay is on par, if not better in some ways. The fact that they barely showed any gameplay is pretty telling as well. You gotta watch out for the indie games that have, like, amazing presentation, because usually the gameplay takes a big hit.
Something you've never known. Let me rephrase.
Because it's hard to do both.
Is it possible to be homesick for a place you have never been?
Well, this is really backloaded, isn't it? They haven't really shown anything interesting. I think I'm just, like, not gonna watch this.
I have been homesick for how it does now. But the island should still be there. They built this thing to last. Come to the island if you ever get lonely. Come here and think of me.
Dude, come on, where's Dawn of the Monsters? They catfished me. There hasn't been anything else that I've cared about in this either. It's all like stuff I'm not interested in. This is the definition of catfishing. It's not what they advertised. At least not yet, anyway. Maybe they're doing like a shadow drop of it like next week or something. Maybe that's why they're not doing it first. There's a chance. Because they did announce it like last year. I don't think it takes that long to add like a roguelike mode in one character. Because the story in the game is actually quite good. I actually did read the story. But I don't think they could really expand upon it in one game, in like a DLC. It felt more like sequel bait than DLC bait, so maybe it is coming soon. Maybe like next month or something. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I don't think they could really continue and wrap up the story in a DLC. They would need like an entire other game. Ah, nope, got catfished again.
Hello, Delvling, and welcome to Dwarf Delve, a randomly generated roguelite set within treacherous mines filled with darkness, dangers, and above all else, loot. As a newly recruited dwarf in training, your essential duties will see you scouring the deepest, darkest mines.
You know what?
for
Actually, I
anything
could
of
do some
value.
intel
Tin,
here.
Gold.
Has the
maybe
Steam
even treasures
database
of
been
a less
updated
common nature.
for
Stepping into
Dawn
the
of the
boots of a new
Monsters?
Delvling can be tricky. Luckily, each time you
While they're
risk your
showing
gear
all
for
this
loot
stuff
and
I have
never
no
alive,
interest in.
you
I'm
can
actually
spend your
curious.
ill-gotten gains on plenty of new
When was the
tools
last
and
time the
equipment
game was
upgrades.
updated?
Assuming you
Like
make it
the
back alive,
Steam
you
database.
can use your new resources to upgrade every element of your gear, or even construct entirely new support.
Ah,
items.
look at
You can
this.
also exchange loot for skill points, increasing
Did some
how hard
intel
you can
work
hit,
here.
how far you can throw,
Hold on.
and how much you can carry.
This game looks pretty boring.
Between your
so
adventures,
show this.
you'll be able to relax in your quarters. Upgrade your living quarters with a huge array of wallpapers, rugs, carpets, paintings, even new cushions.
Look at this.
Here, you can refine ores into crafting materials,
DLC preview.
purchase new furnishings for your home,
Right there.
and even do a spot of cooking. You might even find
Last
special
updated
edible
5 days
ingredients,
ago.
giving you special
Specifically
perks
says
when you cook them
DLC
into fully
preview.
prepared meals. In the future, unlock the workbench to unpack
See
and
right
build
here,
flat-packed,
internal QA
newly
testing,
purchased
so
item blueprints.
the
Even
QA
follow
branch
the
for the
included
game was last
construction
month.
guide. Build a rail and minecart network.
And then they
to
made
move
another
the loot
branch for
around
QA
whilst you
testing.
dig deeper
DLC
for rare
preview.
treasures. But
It might
remember,
actually be
it's
coming
best not
very
to get
soon.
Too greedy. These mines are ancient and
They've been working on it for a while,
One
you
wrong
can tell
boot
here.
could cost you your life. Dwarf Delve was developed with a love of exploration.
Well, there
and
you go.
discovering
There's some,
shiny loot in mind. From sandbox
some
titles
intelligence
such as
work
Minecraft
there.
and Stardew Valley to rogues such as Diablo and Borderlands, I wanted
That's
to
pretty much
include
all
as
I
many
needed to
secrets
see
as possible
to
within
tell
the
that it's coming
environment.
soon.
From puzzle dungeons to obscure items that would make players come together to solve and build a sense of community. The experience is constantly evolving, and I look forward to raising up our battle mallets together very soon.
Humanity's thirst for knowledge led to our greatest triumph and our ultimate downfall. We opened the door to worlds beyond our
Yeah, but they're gonna show every
but from that door,
boring
an
artsy game until they get to the
evil
good
called
stuff.
the Root slipped through and destroyed everything.
How many artsy games are there left?
A couple decades back,
Need
we
some
dealt the Root a
gameplay.
heavy blow. Bought ourselves some time. We rebuilt as best we could, licked our wounds, and forged a path forward, step by step. But our time is running out. Everything is
Yeah, my
prey
patience
to the
is
Root,
running
and
out.
as
Show
long
Dawn of the
as they
Monsters
exist,
already.
We will always be hunted. That's where you come in. We need you to journey to some dangerous yet wondrous worlds and stop the Root once and for all. To survive, you'll need to push every skill you've got to its limit. But we don't just need you to survive. We need you to prevail. Use whatever gear you can find. Modify your weapons with what you can scrounge up in your travels. And be smart. Bring the backup you need. We're counting on your travel. Stop this infestation before it extinguishes the last flickering flame of humanity. If you fail, well, let's just say failure isn't an option. Our future is in your hands now. Without you, everything we know and love will fall to ash.
Light Odyssey came out of nowhere and is looking super interesting. It's great to have games from all over the world showcased at the event.
Indeed. Once again, we've teamed up with the exquisite folks at Valve to showcase our stream on their platform in order to support the devs. It's all about the devs. Be sure to check out the event page on Steam, where you can wishlist, buy, or play the games that are featured in this very event.
Up next, if you like takes on 2D classics or fast-paced action, our next segment dives into some fun and compelling takes on games in the neo-retro genre.
Gameplay!
Let's roll.
You mean gameplay, not cutscenes? And walking? Just say gameplay. That's what retro games were. Actually playing a game, not watching a movie. Thank you. Alright, this is it right here, I think. No, this is not it, actually. This is something else. Oh, hell yeah. Gameplay! An actual video game. That's an unhealthy amount of gameplay being shown. Whatever this is looks like something I would play. This looks awesome. Video game. An actual video game. Okay, that's just the Contra 3 boss. Iron Meat. Oh wow, there's a demo for that. I might check that out. See how easy it is for me to get excited? Just fucking show gameplay.
My name is Jokum, also known in the community as Hipshot, and I'm the creative director.
Dude, are they gonna show Double Dragon too? Are they gonna shadow drop a demo for Double Dragon? I would be so happy if they did.
The original Hammer from 2013 and Heroes of Hammer from 2018.
That's coming out in like a month and a half, and there's like been barely any gameplay. I hope they're gonna like have a demo.
Features, as you might know,
because I wanna see what makes that game tick, but they're not wanting to actually market it well. It's all just 2 seconds of gameplay.
Allow with the sequel.
Tales of Arise marketing all over again. Alpha doing like 1 slash.
The first big thing is of course player classes.
I'm like, cool. Can you show a little bit more?
They are very simple in the first game, and you only have few active and a few passive skills. In Heroes of Hammer, it was all expanded with more variation. Different damage types were added, and various tweaks to all of this, of course. With Hammer 2, we cranked that up with tons of active and passive skills, which themselves have cool sub-skills. And all classes now have a range alternative, if they had none in the previous games. So it's actually possible to make an entirely ranged paladin in Hammer 2, no shield, no sword, but whatever class you pick still needs items and gear. In the first game we really didn't have any items or gear, we had a few permanent upgrades, but that's kinda it. In Heroes we added collectible items with great variety, that might change the game experience quite a bit. For Hammers 2 we have made a system more similar to bigger action RPGs, where you collect items in your inventory that you can equip, sell, or just throw away. You get the items from fallen enemies, hidden secrets, solving quests, or buying them from some store, or you can even craft them. Gear and equipment have different randomized stats and features. Some other items are made for crafting purposes, some items are made to be used once, some are made for quests, and some are just useless. Speaking of quests, where we had very simple missions in both previous games, like finding those planks or that prison button, we now have a fully fledged out system with dialogue,
can you
different choices,
speed it up?
Quests can be completed in various ways. And
they show that sick looking Contra clone and then you get this. It's like, man, hype deflated. Alright, cool.
And while we're on the subject of world and levels, the first game had a very linear design path where Heroes had a generated level system that changed every time you played. In Hammers 2 we have made a sort of a mix of that, with some designed levels with randomized features in them, or levels generated from some kind of prefab composition mix. And for the first time you will now have a huge outside world to explore and take in. So those are some of the features in Hammers 2. Take care now and bye bye.
Yeah, the Wizard of Legend 2 I'm kind of conflicted about, because it's not the same people making it, and it's like 3D. They're talking about adding a bunch of story and stuff. It's like, I don't know. They barely showed any gameplay. They're kind of conflicted. A little bit conflicted. This looks cool. I probably would buy this. I'm old. I like shit like this. I'm sure most people aren't interested, but they just need some gameplay. That looks pretty fun. Oh wow, that's a Shadow Drop. I don't know if I'd buy that like right now, but maybe on sale. Yeah, they got the people who did Children of Morta. They're the ones doing Wizard of Legend 2. From what I've seen, Children of Morta is like, it's a good game, but not the best roguelike. So, like a really, really heavy story focus, but then like the roguelike aspects of it like aren't too hot. So, it's a little concerning. I guess they got the money to make it. We'll see. Oh, here we go. I was interested in this too.
Come on, Crusaders! It's cleanup time!
Oh, hey! I know this game. What are they showing for this? Video game. It's all gameplay. Oh man, are they showing the end of the game now? Oh, they just quietly announced it's leaving early access in the next quarter. That's actually pretty huge, because it's been in early access for like 2.5 years. Oh yeah. Alright, they can show a couple artsy games now. That's actually huge news.
My name's Dynamite Anton. I'm Destruction Worker. Some people call me the Dynamite Man.
Oh, whoa, what is this? Alright, this catches my interest.
It's pretty hard being a single dad. You're raising a little pink hedgehog girl. You know, I used to be an exterminator. It was a really bad job. I would fall down sewers, fall down manholes, and I'd have to climb my way back up. And then my roommate would just tell me, "You smell like shit." You know, kids always come up to me and they're like, "Hey, Anton, say the line. Anton, say the line." And I gotta go, "Does anyone here want to buy Anton Blast?"
It's time to paint the town red in Anton Blast, an explosive adventure coming soon to Steam and Nintendo Switch.
Mario Land clone. Which isn't a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. That's pretty awesome. I'll check out the demo for that.
You still here?
So Justin, I know you're making some waves.
Making that happen.
You're making waves in the Neo Retro games. Shout out to Graham of Legend for dropping his latest Super Space Club as part of the Black Voices in Gaming. What was one of your favorite games in the last segment?
One of my favorite games, which kind of came out of nowhere, was Toxic Crusaders, side-scrolling brawler. It looks super dope. It's taking me back to my childhood with all the Trauma movies. Also, Anton Blast has this fast-paced, leveled-up Wario type of vibe. Super dope. Definitely make sure to check out those games on the Guerrilla Collective Steam page, wish list the games, play the demos. It helps them out. I can't say that enough. Yo, shout out to Steam.
Up next, we are raising the stakes and creeping into your mind like Freddy creeps into dreams with some new trailers in the horror genre. We've got an update.
Where is Dawn of the Monsters? Come on!
World of Horrors, and we're gonna mix things up
Dude.
with some fast-paced shooters.
That sounds
Okay, so we're gonna show stuff with no gameplay now for another half hour.
I'm here for
Get
it.
to the good stuff. Where is Dawn of the Monsters? That's kind of why I don't like watching these. So usually these kind of events, I wait until they're over and I just skim through it. But they've shown some pretty cool stuff. I'm just getting impatient.
Welcome to Serum.
It seems like they're
survival
lining
game
up
where
for
you're trapped
a
in a world engulfed
shadow
by
drop.
a green toxic substance. You're stranded without any memory of how you got there, and a device implanted in your hand ticks down the seconds until your life is over. In order to survive, you need to inject yourself with serum. And that's where the game's unique brewing
PGR?
system comes into play. By mixing and matching different types of
Stamina and
substances,
PGR is
you can
serum.
unlock dozens of powers and hidden abilities that will help you survive. To extract the liquid, you'll need to gather plants and hunt down mutated animals that lurk in the shadows. You also find mysterious notes and blueprints left behind by someone that has been there before. Use those to craft devices, weapons, and deadly traps. Uncover the truth about the dark mysteries of this world and prepare for the final encounter, alone or in a co-op mode. Serum. Life is in your hands.
Yep, they're just gonna show a bunch of these art games now. Come on, man. I'm feeling catfish so hard. Show the game already. Like that. Silk Song is just indie games being a lot like AAA games, where they announce stuff like 3 years too early, and then they get shocked that people are pissed that they're not showing anything, instead of doing what they should, and just like, hey, this game is coming out within the year, and we're going to ramp up marketing and show gameplay and do events and let like big channels play it so that you get gameplay and footage and stuff and overviews. But they repeated the mistake that AAA studios do, which is weird because they have like way more control over that game than a lot of other indie games do. It's like the whole point is to be independent, right? Like, you don't have to announce stuff to spark up interest or like sell copies of the old game or anything. More companies, the indie games should just copy the way that the Yakuza studio does it. It's like, hey, this is coming out in 6 months. We're going to announce it with gameplay and like, you know, a good story trailer, give you a little bit of the, you know, the premise of the game and everything, and then gameplay at the same time, so everybody's happy. And then like, hey, this is coming out within the year. You don't really have time to be pissed off because you're being shown stuff, like, constantly. Silk Song is just... I really think that they shouldn't have announced that game until, like, last week. The rate that they're going. So that's one thing people are tired of with AAA games, is they announce it with a logo. They have, like, no gameplay, and then it takes years to come out. People are getting sick of that. Indie games are generally pretty good about it, mostly because they don't have the money. They don't have the money to catfish you with you know, trailers with no gameplay and stuff. Silk Song is kind of just we're just gonna copy the worst things about waiting for AAA games when they just show you a logo and they don't even give you a release date. I'd say the only benefit they have is that they actually have shipped a game before, so it's not going to be like the Kickstarter campaigns that raise like a ton of money, but then like they don't actually know how to make a game and they burn through the money too fast. That won't be a problem. I think they've proven that they know how to make a game, so it will come out. It's just they announced it way too soon. It was not ready. Yeah, they did like a private demo for that game, which yeah, definitely did make things worse, because if you're showing a demo, it implies that the game is, you know, close to being released. But that demo was like 2 years ago, and there's been like nothing since. It just kind of became vaporware. I think people have a right to be upset. They're not really marketing that game very well. Could say the same for Double Dragon as well. I mean, there's a demo of that game.
A dev at Metric Empire.
But it was only at Combo Breaker a few weeks ago. And they've shown like barely any gameplay. But they have the benefit of the team has made a game already. So
gunning down hordes of enemy machines in our bot-busting roguelite.
They've made a game already and it's coming out next month. It's like, it's not that bad, right?
That's not enough. Her fist will certainly do the trick.
The marketing for that game definitely sucks so far, but it's not
time to
the
steal some
worst.
game-changing powers by defeating these ruthless overlords. Once you beat an Overlord, you'll be able to equip and use their powers, unlocking sick new suits and matching gauntlets. But let me warn you, getting these cores will not be easy. The road ahead is full of danger, like corrupted towers and enemies. It's clear these Overlords are not playing around. It's up to you to save the city of New Elysium and bring it back to the utopia it once was.
Lightside, I think the other thing that they do with indie games is they go in early access, and then they leave early access, and they don't add anything. I've been burnt like that a couple times, or the game is in early access for years with no sign of ever leaving. 20XX was in early access for ages.
Give me a break.
But they kept adding stuff to it, and they kept a pretty strict update schedule, so it didn't feel too bad. I definitely felt like they could have left early access sooner, but they updated every 2 weeks almost throughout the entire early access periods. Like that's more than fine. I think the new thing now is putting a game in early access with like no content, and then being shocked that people don't want to pay like $30 for a game that you can only play for like an hour. That's pretty much what Rogue Legacy 2 was. Rogue Legacy 2 became an amazing game over time, but they should have waited like another like 6 months before they let people play it. Because it only had like 3 hours of content.
Get back in there.
That game is kind of weird because it started out worse than the first game, which was just a straight release with no early access. It started out worse than the original, but then it became better over time. It's just they, I don't know if they needed a cash infusion or what, but it's a night and day difference now. Now it's a really good game. It's like, yeah, it would have been better to wait like 6 months until there was a little bit more content. That Raven's Watch game is that's the complaint I hear about that game the most is like it's a really good game, but there's just like not much to do.
This land is cursed. Where my people roamed freely, now roams only death. It came with the white man on his iron horse.
How long ago was that Silk Song demo? Wasn't that like 2 years ago? It was quite a while ago.
White man brought with him corruption.
It's weird to show that much unedited gameplay and then the game is still not out. I don't understand how that happens. Like they're clearly look like they were pretty far along.
Ignorance.
They at least had like the base foundation of the game was done. A lot of the sprites were done and stuff, the mechanics and everything. But then it's been like 2 years of nothing.
This place.
Very strange.
The dead can no longer leave the mortal realm. Restless.
Maybe they just have feature creep. That's a thing that happens with indie games a lot as well, is feature creep. And they feel like it's not done, but they could like legit release what they already have and make a lot of money. Mega Man X Corrupted is pretty much like that. Like, every time that guy shows that game, it's like, dude, you could release this now, and people would be happy. But because he's not putting any money into it, he's not getting paid, obviously, because he can't get paid for it. Like, the guy just keeps adding more and more stuff to it, and he's been doing it for like 17 years. Like, Every time they show that game, I'm like, dude, this looks professionally made. Like, you could just release it now,
Yo, Sparky
and
is
people would love
destined
it.
to be streaming and YouTube
But
/ Twitch
he's got
famous.
feature
I can
creep.
already see it.
He doesn't
Blood
know when to
West
stop.
Is a great addition to the throwback FPS gore fest from back in the day. Looking forward to being creeped out.
I think a
by
lot of
all
it with
those
X
titles.
Corrupted is maybe he feels like he needs to
World
make
of
it
Horror,
perfect
We've had that in a couple showcases
because he's going to get
It's been a
cease and
game
desisted.
changer
But
in the genre,
I
and
doubt
we
that
can't wait
Capcom
for
will
the
care.
Updated version of that release.
He's shown so much of the game and nothing
Super,
has happened
super
yet.
dope. Before we move on,
And there's
we
been a
wanna
number
thank
of other
all
Mega
of
Man
you
games
all
recently,
for tuning
fan
in
games
and
that
checking
haven't
out
gotten
the games
touched.
in this showcase. But after this, there's going to be more. We have
Mega Man X
showcase with
Corrupted
our
is the
friends at
definition
Freedom
of
Games,
feature creep.
Tiny Build, and Hype
It
Train
just keeps
Digital
adding
with the
more and
Guerrilla
more and more
Collective
stuff to it to the
Publisher
point where
Spotlights.
it just feels like it'll never be
Yes,
finished.
we do. And also, make sure you check
He's been
out
working on
our
that game
Mixed
since like
merch store
2006.
to support us.
Like, it's
He's
got to be
got
like half of his
hats,
life at this
shirts,
point.
pins, the whole nine. To make
That
you
game
watch
has
with
been
amazing drip.
in the works for so long.
Coming up, we're also going to take you through a tour of various up-and-coming RPGs and titles that will have
You guys been
you
working on it
taking
for
up
so
epic
long.
side
The
quests
first like
in
engine
style.
that game was in was
Grab your
Flash.
maps, potions, the turnbuckle, and your favorite classmate, and let's hop in.
Let's get it.
Oh, come on, man. It's been like almost an hour of this. Where's Dawn of the Monsters? I'm starting to think they're never going to show this game. Have like infinite games to show, but not the one I'm here for. You better shadow drop this shit, man. Like, hey, it's out now. I'm honestly surprised Capcom hasn't bought out X Corrupted, because they did that with Street Fighter Cross Mega Man. Like, they bought out that game. They paid that guy to make that game. Or, like, take it off him, because they didn't want to do anything for the 25th anniversary. Hey, it's a dope fish. No, the Summer Game Festival is 2 days from now. This is like an indie game announcement thing. And we're waiting for Dawn of the Monsters, but they're showing like everything else. They're showing everything but what I'm here for. There's been a couple good games, though. They showed a little bit of the Toxic Crusaders beat 'em up. They showed a really sick-looking Contra clone. I think there was like 1 or 2 other games I was interested in. A lot of it's been like really boring, artsy stuff, though.
Okay, what is that?
Being a bishop ain't easy.
It takes a toll in ways you
Well,
can't
this looks
imagine.
awesome.
One day you'll find
Is there
out
any
the same
gameplay?
thing. Now get back to work.
Feel Shale's power.
I've no time for this. Take that! I could have timed that better. I've got to be faster. There are things that the living can't.
They got Sakuraba to make music for this? Hot damn, man. That's a pretty big thing. That man has made more JRPG music than anybody else on the planet. Because he's been the musician for like almost every Tales game. He's put out more music than Uematsu has for sure. Gameplay of that doesn't look too hot, but I'll probably cop the soundtrack. Sakuraba can still churn out good stuff when he's allowed to run wild. They don't tell him to just make the same sound. That's actually pretty sick. They got him to do music. He hasn't really been doing that much commissioned music. He's mostly still been doing professional stuff.
Master of Rails has arrived.
Maybe he's getting tired of being chained down. It's kind of why like a lot of the Tales games have very similar music. Like that man is talented. He can make good ass music. It's just he's told to like not really have much freedom. The gameplay of that game looked pretty mid tier though, for sure. I'll check out the soundtrack. That's about as far as I'll go with that one.
Welcome to WrestleQuest. My name is Zach. I'm the chief powerbomb enthusiast at MegaCat Studios, and I'm here to show you some never-before-seen content. So without further ado, let's get down to it. So the area.
Yeah, so it's been going for like an hour. There's no Dawn of Monsters yet.
Jungle-themed board game, and as you can see, we've got some pretty cool effects here. We've got the sunlight coming in, these leaves blowing in the wind, and this gorgeous river. Why do we add a river? Well, if you want to make them quiver, you gotta have a river, right? This is the dungeon that's sort of...
Alright, how long are we going to spend on this game?
After the first initial act, as you open up and get to start exploring, you know, the rest of the world map. So we're going to show you some of the features this dungeon has to offer. We've got another enemy type here in the middle there, the Luchador Piggy Bank, the Money Pig. Bruder's going to take care of him for us. Now you'll notice how he shattered there. Not all enemies will need pinned. Only enemies that are wrestling based or, you know, sort of like tough guy characters.
No, this is all just straight indie games.
Swinging bug zapper here. Useful for the
Although they showed Remnant 2 here, which is like clearly a pretty big budget game. Maybe not like
you'll come to this area, the bright light
AAA budget, but like still pretty large budget.
Sprays of fire that are hot enough to melt the shades right off your face. I just took one.
I don't know, the term indie game is kind of losing its distinction. Because there's stuff that's like literally made by like 1 or 2 people over the course of years with like no money. And then, you know, there's stuff that has like publishers, you know, they're getting paid to make the game. And they don't have like full control over it, so they can't even really call it indie either.
Place a sheet. Changes the light of the ball.
I think it was better when games like this were called AA games. You know, like they still have some budget and polish. They're not like complete amateur projects, but they don't have like massive development and marketing budgets. It's kind of losing its meaning. Well, that might be a hot take, but
what could it be with these scaly slithering? Oh my god!
I mean, you have stuff like Assault Spy and like 20XX that was mostly made by like a handful of people at most, with no publisher.
Macho Man.
Like that's an indie game.
There are multiple Macho Man.
Streets of Fury EX is an indie game. They had no publisher.
If you visit them all, you might.
But then like Streets of Rage 4 is also called an indie game when it's not. It was published by Sega. They got money to make it.
One of the many areas in the game's massive world.
Like that game, obviously it didn't cost like as much money to make as like Diablo 4, which just came out, but they still had a pretty modest budget for sure. It's just kind of losing its distinction. They've definitely shown some stuff in here that's like an actual definition of an indie game, like just made by a couple people, and like even if it has a publisher, like maybe at most they like market it and they're giving them like a little bit of money, but they're not funding the entire thing. It's interesting to think about. But it's definitely changed a lot since like Binding of Isaac came out. Because Binding of Isaac was the same, just like made by mostly like 2 people. Well, the publishers for indie games can be pretty toxic. There's been a lot of indie games that have been fucked up by the publishers. Just trying to take too much control. So it's really not that much different from AAA games. You know, like Redfall just came out. It's coming out that like nobody on the team wanted to make the game. And like basically they knew it was going to fail, but they had to release it anyway because the publisher. Like, it's happening with indie games now too. There's been a lot of stories of publishers like cutting funding and like not letting them update the game and stuff because it didn't sell enough. It's been happening a lot. It's kind of just like the esports organizations. They seem like good on paper, but they end up being like really toxic groups that fuck over people that are less privileged than them. Holy shit, this looks awesome. Does it have any gameplay? Oh man, it's turn-based. Lame. I'm getting catfished pretty hard. That looks pretty adjacent, and like, nope, it's a strategy game. Pass. I'm already flaccid. I'm already flaccid. I got the erectile dysfunction already. So we're going to a break. Are they actually going to show the game now?
I can't wait to jump off the turnbuckle in WrestleQuest.
I can't either.
I've been waiting for that one since it was announced. I love that they look like articulated WWE toys. They're so cute.
They look super dope. I love those toys back in the day. Yes, I've also been waiting to share Demon School goodness. As a big fan of the original Persona, how do you say it? It's looking super sick. Shout out to Necrosoft for sharing that game with us. But you know what, Jay?
What?
You know what time it is?
What time is it?
It is key giveaway time. Get the key drop, kids. Grab your phone, scan the QR code on your camera. Go to the website for your chance to get a key from the developers and publishers in the showcase. They could be previous titles. It's a grab bag. Awesome games that we're giving away.
So up next, we have some really big world premieres and exclusive updates on Cerebral games that will make you take your time before making
No! Show me gameplay!
Maybe the difference between life and death in games that have that strategy.
Dude, my brain is in overdrive all the time. I don't need cerebral games, alright? I want some gameplay. Where is Dawn of the Monsters? How long is this gonna go on for? I wasn't like really prepared for this. I thought it was gonna be like 20 minutes.
Welcome to Crashland.
Come on!
2. Explore a world filled with wonder.
Showing everything else but what I'm here for. I'm starting to get annoyed.
And then slap.
Get to the point already.
And slap those too. Just slap it all. Except these. The great outdoors isn't so great when you've got no indoors. Best to make a home for yourself. But not just yourself. Because loneliness sucks. So build a friendship. Because that kind of ship won't crash. After all, if you're gonna make it on this planet, you'll need all the help you can get.
No, they've shown a decent amount of variety. It's just going on too long. Get to the good shit, man. You're taking forever to show this game. I'm starting to get annoyed. How many more card games you got?
Time for a change.
Another card game. How many more?
You wanna fight? Rainbow! Can't catch me!
Ah, man, I lost interest as soon as I saw the cards. Yeah, and it didn't do well. I think that's why they're trying cards. Are we finally showing it now? No? Another art game?
Welcome to Jumplight Odyssey.
Dude, come on!
Come
on, man! Why couldn't they just show it first? I would have just turned this off.
People and captain
it's taking forever, man. Hurry up!
On the bridge, we'll be able to upgrade numerous things, activate our holo table, chart our.
Are they gonna shadow drop this today or what? Because they're building this up a lot.
Officers at their command centers. But let's go down a deck, just like that. Because in Jumplight Odyssey, you'll be able to navigate all of the decks of your starship using our
Alright, cool. I'm not interested.
Incredible cross-sections inspired form of navigation. And this deck is the Promenade. Just
show what I'm here for, please. I've been waiting an hour.
Their social time and rest and recuperation. Coming together for activities, strengthening relationships, and even doing a little spot of gardening or rummaging the vending machines. Now, let's go to the quarter deck. The quarter deck is where the action happens, so to speak, whether that be manufacturing, building supplies, keeping the power running, showering your crew, feeding them. This is the domain of your engineering and supply divisions, and it's what keeps the ship running day to day. Now, also, a starship needs...
Alright, cool. Next game.
This flight deck is where you'll scramble your fighters and launch all of your...
The people who made Dawn of the Monsters pinged. They pinged like 20 minutes into this, and I was thinking that they were actually going to show the damn game soon, but no, they're doing literally everything else.
Now, usually the lower deck when you start a run is largely empty. But as captain of the starship, we've built this out to our design for the needs of our crew and our mission. And next up is something that we've never shown before.
Never shown before, yeah. I'm interested.
The Jumplight Drive. In the engine room, you'll find the capabilities to harness starlight, raw starlight, in a somewhat stable form called Jumplight. Jumplight is what will power your journey throughout the stars and hopefully to the Forever Star. There is so much more to show you of the SDF.
No, don't show me anymore. Show Dawn of the Monsters.
Our Starship Adventure Sim. And in the coming months,
I'm going to be pissed if they don't even give a release date for it.
So please,
this is taking so long.
Join us on Discord.
That shit better shadow drop by like next week. Because I've been waiting over an hour.
Buongiorno, my fellow mobsters and culinary enthusiasts. Welcome to this grand fest known as Dawn Duality. I, your gracious host Dawn, am about to reveal all the culinary secrets of this madcap tycoon game. Now, picture this. You are the boss of the vibrant restaurant empire, calling the shots in the thrilling underworld adventure. Your mission? Run the show with the style and cook up daring schemes that'll have even the toughest meatball quacking on its sauce. But hold on to your fedoras, ragazzi. Got some cards in the game that'll make you question your choices faster than a chef, pondering whenever pineapple belongs on pizza. When those questionable cards pop up, it's like adding an extra kick of spice to your lasagna. Things are about to get a whole lot crazier, my friends. Listen up, my ambitious pasta slingers. The more criminal activities are done, the harder your seat gets. the police will be sneaking around like a seagull eyed for a seafood. Stay one step ahead of the boys in blue, my friends. You be the maestro of culinary and gangster empire, orchestrating a team, upgrading the trattoria, and ensuring the pasta keeps flowing. Just remember, not everyone can handle 2 chairs. So, my friends, are you prepared to die?
No, I'm not. I'm prepared for Dawn
For
of the
your cause.
Monsters. Which they advertised an hour ago.
I was acting.
Where is it?
Or was I?
I'm out of
Advertise
patience.
your joint. Reel in the hungry crowd.
How many more art games do they got, man?
Just
Come
be
on.
prepared for the most unexpected surprises.
They have an infinite amount of art games, and not what I'm here for.
Greetings, valued employee. Welcome to the Ringo Corporation.
Come on, at least show Double Dragon or something with gameplay.
There is no need to question the samples. I have no doubts that you will give 110%. Ringo appreciates that a rested mind empowers the grind. It will be your job to sort samples. It is your duty to put your money back into the economy. It will be your job to sort samples. The samples are important, and as such, you are important. Put your money back into the economy. Economy. Rested mind, rested mind. There is no need to question the samples. Question the sample.
Greetings, employees.
I'm Vicky.
And I'm Sam. We are Canteen, the developers of Corporation The Sorting Process, our upcoming dystopian narrative game.
In Corporation, you'll play as Max, a lab technician working for a corporate...
Why would I want to play as somebody
We love
that
games
hates their
that
job?
foster a sense
I
of
don't think we really need a simulator for that. I think that's just kind of life at this point.
Here's a breakdown of what that looks like.
In your day job, you will sort samples. The quicker you
Work,
organise
sleep,
them,
repeat
the more
is
money
like
you will earn.
what most people are already doing.
Your manager will change the rules.
You kind of like don't want to do that in a video game. I mean, cool, but no thanks.
Job well done, and the frustration of arbitrary tasks.
Work to the bone and make shit pay. I mean, most people already do that in real life.
The Ringo desktop PC
I don't really get the appeal of a simulator for it.
and pay to win games.
That might be a hot take, but that's my take on it. I don't want to have to pay bills in a video game,
You will
man.
uncover the linear narrative through daily news.
It's like when Final
surveys,
Fantasy 15 came out and they were so happy.
designated chat companions.
They were so happy that you had to get
Along the
gas
journey,
for the
you'll
car.
find
I'm
game
like,
logs
dude,
response to you. It's
that's something I don't want to do in a video game, alright?
However, your routine will be
I don't want to have to worry about gas and bills in a game, alright?
with the system, invite you
I
to
want to be like a billionaire in the game, just have like millions. Because that's something I'll never do in real life.
This is spoiler-free prologue for you to try and think. We can't wait for you to
Nah,
play
no thanks, man.
Thanks for watching.
Sorry.
Work hard.
That ain't it, man. They just have an infinite amount of games that aren't what I'm here for.
Yo, did you see Crashlands 2? So excited, such great horror, and it looks like they really elevated the look and feel of their game from the previous game.
Yeah, it's so colorful. The animations are better. The humor comes across super cool. And as a fan of the fighting game genre, I like what Yomi 2 is doing by elevating their game as well. I'm a FGC fan. I know you are.
It's my world.
For sure. Yomi 1 was really cool. And the card game is I was gonna say it's delicious. You know what I'm saying? If you like those titles, make sure to wish list them on our Steam event page. Pre-order them wherever they are available. Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo. Show them some love by downloading the demo wherever they are available. Quick reminder that after the Guerrilla Collective showcase, stay tuned, because we have our Publisher Spotlights showcase coming up next, where we are going to be showing you games from Tiny Build, Hype
I'm not
Train
watching
Digital,
that.
and Freedom
I'm not watching that.
games. It also includes, like I said,
I'll skip
more
through it.
from Nova Lands, which is a really
I'll skip
awesome
through it.
Game.
I'm here for it.
I kind of regret waking up for
Glad
this.
you are. Thanks for being here for the game.
I love it. Okay, so we've shared games that are horrific, strategic, and downright hardcore. Now we're gonna slow it down and get into our more creative,
Come
stylistic,
on,
and cozy
man.
bags.
Come
Share some
on.
games
How many more
where we
games
get
do you
into all the
have?
feels, as well as push the
on.
envelope on game design and artistic
I don't
expression
want that, dude.
in ways
I'm here for a
they might
beat 'em
not
up.
expect. I don't think they're ready.
Can you
They
please
are
just
not
show
ready,
it?
but we're gonna get in and get cozy.
Dude, the devs for this game pinged the Discord like an hour ago. How many more art games do you have? Like, I don't care. What's this? Color a dinosaur? Can you get to the point? Are they gonna show this game or what? It's taking forever. They're saying it's gonna be the last trailer. So they better fucking have a shadow drop because I'm sitting through this. I'm just gonna play something on my main monitor. I'm out of patience. Then I'll just tab out when they show something worth a damn. The fuck is this? What the hell? It's cursed. What the fuck is this? Thing from the Addams Family is he's just got an entire race of disembodied appendages. What the? I mean, if you're gonna do this, at least get the Addams Family license, right? Like, missed opportunity. Where's Thing from the Addams Family? I mean, are they gonna do a collab? That's basically what it is. What the fuck am I watching? No, I'm definitely not playing that, man. I'm definitely not playing that. That's cursed. That is cursed, I'm sorry.
Along the way, you might stumble.
That's the kind of shit you play if you want to get, like, possessed or something. I'm good, man. Thanks, but no thanks.
Let's mark our territory so that dogs that we
Hard pass.
know how to find this place. Now let's set off. On your hike, you can choose where to go and what to do. Maybe you'll climb the mountain. Maybe you'll unlock all of the island's secrets. Oh, wait a second. What's that? A beach chair? Ugh, I can't resist the urge to relax for a little bit, take in the sun. There's a lot of little cozy spots like this hidden throughout the island. You can find them all and relax, but we need to go now.
That was good shock value, though. Just a random hand game.
Once you're at the top, look around to find hidden secrets.
Gonna have problems sleeping at night watching that shit.
The more you find, the higher you can climb. So let's look around and see.
Let me turn it up a little bit. It's a little quiet.
What's that over there?
There you go.
That looks like a lost dog we can rescue. Let's see if we can get him. So we'll just glide our way down. Ooh. Now let's just climb up. Oh no, we don't have enough corky butt power. We could find more, but let's find another way up. I've got an idea. Maybe we just need some fire. So let's just go over here, grab one of these sticks, we'll light it on fire, and then we'll see what we can do. Let's be careful not to cause any corky chaos around here, though. We don't want to burn anything. But let's see. Okay, we'll just burn this. And look what falls down, a nice little mushroom. We can bounce up there, and now there he is. Oh, poor him, he's lost. He just needs a little boop, and then he'll be fine and ready to go. Now, if we go back to our animal sanctuary, we'll find that Treble made his way here, and he's enjoying living here. Let's give him a different bed. You can unlock decorations by recruiting volunteers for your sanctuary. Oh man, he really loves that one. This has been your early look at a Corky's Cozy Hike. We've only been working on it for a few months, and we need your help to bring it to reality. Check out our Kickstarter and wishlist us on Steam. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you later.
Yeah, light side, I wish they had less games.
Probably already noticed it, but
and they would get to what I want to watch.
Is covered
what I'm here for,
and to answer
instead
the
of more art
question that's
games.
on everyone's mind, yes, we will have a white Christmas.
Tidy wrap the boxes underneath green branches. What are the chances it's December? The cold winds blowing through the mistletoe and stockings are floating above the fireplace. But here's the thing about Christmas. They say it don't mean nothing unless you got somebody else to share it with.
Mail carrier Weiss. Hope you had a good one out there.
Can't complain,
I'm
Frank.
playing Diablo on my second monitor
it's
right
just
now.
one more day till Christmas. And Meredith coming over.
I just have the sound muted, you guys can't see it. I'll look over when they stop showing art games.
I'll have my own kind of special holiday.
I'm enjoying it. Well, this is clearly lower budget stuff.
Something a little different.
The Summer Game Fest
Welcome
is the
to
main
Noun
attraction is
Town
going to be
Language
AAA.
Learner, the new way to master languages without
probably
even
won't have too
realizing
much
it.
art
You
stuff
start
like
on
this.
this big
That's why it's all
grayscale
being
island
shown
that looks
here.
really dull, dead,
know that,
and
like,
lifeless. But then as you start to learn more
normies
words,
aren't gonna be
colour
interested in
begins
this
to
kind of
sprout
stuff.
out from various places. Villagers
I mean,
move back
to be
into
fair,
the
they've
island
shown
to give
they've
you
shown a
more
lot of really
quests
cool games,
or just
actually.
have conversations.
A lot of
you
variety.
essentially go
It's
around
just-
picking up items, playing mini
They
games,
advertised
and
one
learning
thing and they're
words
not
in order
showing
to
that
bring
thing.
colour back to the world.
And I don't know how long this is going to be going on for. That's what's frustrating me. It's not bad that they're showing a variety of games. It's just kind of catfished me, that's all. That's all it is, really. It would cost a lot to show this at like the Summer Games Fest, and most people there aren't gonna ever touch a game like this, pretty much.
If you want to learn a new language but are tired
That's
of
kinda what
boring
these
textbooks and
showcases are
100-day
for,
streaks,
like,
then you
smaller
need
stuff.
to check out Nountown Language
not, like,
Learning.
really
The
normie
game
friendly.
features over 1,000 of the most common words and phrases you need to master, and you can learn all the major languages like Japanese, Korean, Spanish, and more. Once you've learned some new words, you'll gain access to a ton of minigames to test your learning.
レザーバッグヒータ
And when you're feeling a little more confident, there are 16 characters, each with their own personality that you can practice your speaking with, free of the fear of messing up or getting embarrassed. Diary, Sanuki, Spoon, Toilet paper, Mofu, Tatami. Nountown is available to wishlist right now on Steam, and is releasing this summer with console versions out in late 2023.
This actually looks pretty legit. I mean, Tony Hawk's dead. Tony Hawk's dead. It's time for this to step up. That actually looks pretty cool. I probably wouldn't play it though. Is there some gameplay?
Those games look so fun and cozy, very inspiring. Who wouldn't want to go skating with your homie Ollie the Frog or thumb your way through some ridiculous shenanigans with Super Adventure Hand? It looks like those classic N64 GameCube style games.
Word. And the update to Lake looks super serene and peaceful. I just want to put on my mailman or mail woman
male person
outfit and deliver packages. So definitely check out those games on Steam, wishlist them, follow the developers, and support all the work they put their hearts into.
Definitely support those devs. Keeping with the pace from the last segment, we are going to get into some narrative,
Dude, how many more art games do you
starting
have,
with an
man?
adventure puzzle game that is charming
How many-
as it is beautiful, and get into
How
some
many games about
cyberpunk
clipping your
noir
toenails do you
with
have?
an
Like-
update from the team developing Nivalis. Let's go.
How many toenail clipping games do you have left? Like, there's just an infinite amount of them. I'm gonna be pissed if they don't even have a release date for this DLC.
I'm bringing a basket
This
of
is
baked
taking
goods to
forever,
my
man.
family.
It's just, how many art games do you have left?
She's not doing any of the things we told her to do.
They showed stuff
we
with
couldn't have
gameplay
been
at the
more
beginning,
clear.
and now
She's
it's just
supposed
all,
to be
like,
enforcing martial
bunion
law.
removal.
You're sending me to jail? I'm a children's birthday party magician.
Increasing my sphere of influence.
The princess goes missing, and all of a sudden there's a no goblins order?
I forget what I told her to do, but I think it involved somebody's pet.
I confess, I was smuggling illegal pixie dust inside the dead cat.
How do we get it through her thick skull that she's supposed to be listening to us?
I am listening. Did you forget I was here again?
What? Of course not. Who the hell is that?
Okay, Lil, you got this.
The day of the royal wedding approaches, but a change is coming. Will you RSVP for the revolution?
I know you couldn't resist the chance to place an illegal sports bet with your old pal Fredo.
Welcome to Garby's Emporium of Wonder.
I did not slay 90 ballerinas to be denied entry by some freckle-faced babe.
I don't want to be rude, but you seem, well, pretty baked.
Absolutely.
Oh, wait. Your name is Count Heinrich von Pyre?
Yes. Why?
And that's all for us here today. Please help control the pet population. Have your gargoyles spayed or neutered. So long, everybody!
It all starts and ends with a girl, too small and inadequate for that world of ash, tar, and coal where she was born. Luckily, even if that place turned out to be very hostile for her, there she met Carol, until...
I think it's weird that people complain that video games are just violence. I'm like, dude, violent video games legit prevent crime. How many people log on Grand Theft Auto and go commit heinous acts in the game that they would do in real life if they didn't have the violent video game to play? Like, not everybody wants to, like, just do mundane stuff in video games. I get why people want to do it, but some of this stuff seems like it's pushing the boundaries, man. Like, dude, I don't want to, like, pay bills and pick up gas and shit in a video game. Like, I don't need a sim to pay bills. Shit, I just paid my bills yesterday. It's not fun. I want an escape from that. I think people miss the mark on why Grand Theft Auto is popular. I'm like, yeah, dude, that game is probably preventing people from becoming criminals. Because their job sucks and their life sucks. And they can go around there and go, like, get the police to summon tanks and shit. It's like... there's a reason for it. It's called escapism. I mean, the farming ones are actually pretty fun. Because, like, having an actual farm is legit hard work, like, physically and mentally, and you need a place where you can actually do it. I get that. It's the stuff where it's like, oh, you need to go clip your toenails, or pay bills, or simulate owning a gas station. I'm like, dude, if I'm gonna do that, I want to be paid for it. If I'm gonna own a gas station, I would rather own a real one and make money.
Hi everyone,
not just do it in a game.
Of Death Trick Double Blind. I'm Mari, I'm the producer.
I feel like there's a pretty distinct
difference.
I'm Jenny, I do art and I'm in charge of animation, UI, everything visual.
Death Trick Double Blind is a non-linear detective game set in a 1950s traveling circus. In this game, players will have to solve the mysterious murder of the star magician before the circus has to leave town by the end of the day.
All the evidence and witness will be gone. As we say in the game, it's like a Cinderella story, but instead of chasing a princess, we are chasing a murderer.
The idea of setting the story in a vintage circus came to us because we felt like it gave us a unique aesthetic. It will help us design memorable characters because they each have their own role related to how they perform in the circus.
And also, our characters have their own color scheme to go with their personalities and also their own background stories.
In this game, you will play as two different characters. A detective that has been hired to investigate the murder, and a new magician who has come to replace the amazing Hattie. The player will have to switch between these two perspectives to eventually piece things together and come to a conclusion.
In this game, we have a system what we call collection system. So with every information or item you collected, you can use them either to inquire or to contradict.
What I love about this mechanic is the non-linearity of it. The story doesn't soft lock you until you find the right problem, so you are free to spot your own contradictions. And you can pick what you want to ask, to whom and when, and you will pretty much always get a unique response. So each journey will be very different. The story moves forward based on what we call action points. So for example,
I feel bad I'm playing Diablo, which is
or
gameplay, and
action points.
you guys have to watch no
once your
gameplay.
AP runs out, this turn will end.
I can put Diablo in the corner if you guys really want it. It's up to you.
So you might want to think strategically about
It's
which
just I know that
questions you
the
will
moment I
ask
put in
and
the effort
whether
to put this
the
game on the
contradiction
stream
you
that they're
found
gonna
is the right one.
show Dawn of the Monsters. I'll do it. Give me a sec.
We
Let me
hope
get out of this
detective game
dungeon.
lovers will enjoy
You guys
the
have something
mystery
interesting to
and
watch
enjoy
at least.
solving the case in your own ways. We also hope you might like meeting these characters that we've come to care for so much.
If that sounds like something you will enjoy, so please wishlist Death Trick Double Blind on Steam and go play the demo.
Who am I?
Hi, I'm Marco, Creative Director at Ironlands. Today I'm taking you behind the scenes of Nivalis, the cyberpunk slice of life sim we are developing. Bonjour.
Bonjour. Okay.
Here we are in Paris at Mocap Lab to do the motion capture for Nivalis. Every morning our actors Christelle and Florian had to be prepped with markers that the Vicon system cameras can detect at up to 2000 frames per second. Characters play a vital role in the game. Your staff, the guests that come to your noodle bar, corporate security, gangs, and all the other people that you meet in the city. They all have their life, and we want their animations to be as true to life as possible. Besides capturing the body movement, we also capture props like umbrellas, trays, meals, fishing rods, kitchen appliances, as well as how the characters interact with chairs, tables, bars, and other objects in the game world. Nivalis is a city that stretches from the ocean to the clouds. The entire city is flooded, crumbling from the pressure of thousands of buildings stacked onto each other over hundreds of years. Nivali residents call it their home. Our motion capture allows us to form more
I've leveled up
complex
almost
interactions
twice
with characters,
in the
as we
time
make
they've been doing
friends,
these art
enemies,
games.
compete with
I'm about to
rivals,
turn level
forge
37.
business partnerships, or
I should have
maybe
been doing
even
this the whole
find love.
time.
Nivalis is a city full of life, intrigue,
I'll put it on
and
stream in a
mystery.
second. Just got to get out of this dungeon.
Thank you for joining me on this little tour behind the scenes. You can wishlist Nivalis now on Steam and the Epic Game Store.
Here, I'll do it right now.
So,
Are they going to show it now?
Yeah. Yeah, Jay.
I bet you didn't know what was about to pop off next.
I
Okay, come on.
definitely do not. What is that? What is popping off?
I don't know if you're ready for it.
Another
You got me in
onion removal game?
anticipation mode.
It's time for the final free key grab.
Oh my God. Final key grab.
Everybody grab your picture-taking apparatus or apparati and snap a picture of the QR code on your screen for an op to grab your keys. It's time for the final free key game drop.
Yes, get your opportunity. Don't let your ops get the opportunity to grab those keys. And to match that energy, we're going to cap things off with the GC23. We're turning the dial up to 10, getting into some action adventure titles that will push your bonnet all the way back and blow your slides off your heels. We have a few big exclusives, including a new Grime reveal and a cuddly Carnage style update from a GC alum. Let's go.
What's this? A video game. Yo, what is this? Alright, here we go. Yeah, I said I was going to put up the game. Hold on. That computer can handle it. There you go. No sound. You guys have something to watch besides toenail removal. There you go. Does that look good? Let me know if that looks good. I don't want to cover up the actual cool games, but a little less dead air, you know. I got a pretty good processor. It's not hitting the, it's not impacting my computer to do this, so why not? What is this? Oh, it's a shadow drop. I might check that out. That looks pretty cool. Oh, this game! I remember this game. Is this actually coming out? It's called like Corrupted or something. Looks like groupie. It's looking like I'm gonna level up twice before they show, I'm gonna level up twice before they show the game. At the rate I'm going. I've only got like 15% experience to go. I'm legit gonna level up twice before they show what I'm watching this for. That's not a bad thing though.
Skate, do acrobatics, kill, and look cute while doing it. Gory Cuddly Carnage is a foul-mouthed third-person hack-and-slash action adventure. You play as Gory, a cute but deadly synthetic cat on Frank, a sentient, death-dealing hoverboard waging war against an army of mutated toys. Gory Cuddly Carnage is all about speed, violence, and gore. You'll have a host of combat options to decimate enemies in the bloodiest ways imaginable to really amp up the carnage. Skate and slice everything with Frank's built-in razor blades that he loves to use. Next is the slam wheel that will crunch and bash everything that comes in its way. Charge it in the air to unleash some hell on bigger enemies, or just slam everything in your path. That's totally up to you. The next move is my personal favorite. The hoverboard is also a rocket launcher. Fire smaller rockets in smaller enemies, or just
this is a video game right here. I might check this out actually. That looks pretty cool.
Everything you locked your sight on. Except for the slashing,
plus it's got cats
the
in it,
bashing,
so
the dashing, and
that
the
helps its
shooting,
case.
there will also be an array of upgrades to cause even more mayhem in the full game. Look at him, he's so happy you just have to buy gory new things. When you've maimed, slayed, and upgraded your way through a level, everything is of course topped off with an old school boss battle with all the worst, most mutated, and disgusting toys imaginable. These sections of the game will test your abilities against waves of enemies that will be destroyed in hellfire and a flurry of blades. But beware, some of these mutant toys will not die so easily. Gory Cuddly Carnage will be available on like everything, so wishlist it today.
There, I leveled up twice before they showed the game. Leveled up twice. Can I go for another one? Can I level up 3 times before they show what I'm watching this for? Well, I'm not really watching it anymore. You guys are on my second monitor. I've got the game on the first monitor. My variable refresh rate monitor. Oh! Finally! There we go, hell yeah! Finally a Super Sentai rep. Long overdue. One of my biggest complaints. How do you not have a Super Sentai rep? Roguelike mode, hell yeah! Coming soon! Are you kidding me? They can't even give me a release date?
Corrupt is looking right. The whole
I'm so
fighting game
flaccid
season
right now, man.
is gonna be right. The dawn of the Monsters
Coming
DLC
soon.
looks super crazy.
You're gonna hit me with that
so
after
dope, and
like
we've
almost
been
2
following
hours?
for a long time.
You don't have a
Shout
release
out to
date.
Jesse. I remember showing Gory for
I knew
the
that
first
was gonna
time,
happen,
and
but I'm
it's
still
come
not happy.
such a long way. As a big fan of Grime, which
Well,
has
that
been
looks
doing
awesome,
those
though.
numbers, I know
When it does come out, I
this game
definitely
is
will
going
play
to
that.
be blowing up. That's our show, everybody.
All right.
So many great games. And
All right, we're going back to gameplay. There you go. You turn the sound back on. Yeah, I was kind of hoping for a shadow drop with how long they were taking, but seems like they're adding a lot of content, so it's forgivable in my opinion. But yeah, no shadow drop, sadly. I'm definitely gonna do this for the Summer Games Fest tomorrow. I'm just gonna show. I'm gonna put whatever game I'm playing in the corner, so that you guys will have something to watch, because they're gonna show a lot of boring shit, I'm sure. But you guys will have some variety. No, that's exactly what that game needed. They're adding exactly what they needed to improve that game. It just was just didn't have any replay value. That's like the only thing that was wrong with that game. I think they listened to everybody's complaints and then some. I think part of the problem with Dawn of the Monsters is it has like builds and stuff like this game I'm playing, but unlike this game I'm playing, there was no end game or anything, so you kind of got a build going and then the game just kind of ended. So I would definitely say they fixed the problems. It sucks that it's still not coming, but we will definitely explore that when it comes out for sure. Yeah, they just pinged and they're like, it's launching soon. I'm like, well, when is soon? It seems like it's already done. They're probably getting screwed over with console certification. It's most likely why.
Can I just push them right back in their sockets? Just like...
There's not enough materials. Greetings. I need more time.
Yeah, I was hoping they would show Double Dragon or have a demo for that. I would have really liked that too, because the marketing for that game is kind of butt cheeks, honestly. They've shown like 10 seconds of gameplay. They can't just like show somebody playing it for like 10 minutes, unedited, no commentary. It's like, I really want a demo for that game so I can see what it's like. But it is coming out next month, so I guess I'll find out one way or the other. Definitely disappointing game. Yeah, I don't get why they make like gameplay focused games like that and then they like don't want to show gameplay. Look, you're not playing Double Dragon for the story, alright? Nobody is. Nobody's playing that for the story or the immersion. It's a strictly gameplay focused franchise. Can you show more than like 3 seconds of gameplay? That's what everybody's there for. Just want something to play with their friends. They're not looking for a deep, immersive open world or anything. Or like a narrative that's gonna change your philosophy on life. Like, no, it's just a beat 'em up. It's not this deep philosophical thing. Just show the game. Now they show you cinematic trailers and they make you wait a month to see gameplay. Gameplay reveal. I'm like, dude, why didn't you reveal the gameplay when you announced the game? It's a video game. Show the gameplay. You just did that with the Mortal Kombat game, the new one. Gameplay reveal. Why do you have to reveal the gameplay? It's a video game, right? It's not a movie trailer.
Are you here?
Who's there?
Where did the cannibals come from?
Here. We're prisoners. The wall ahead. That used to be prisoners. Seems like a thing.
No, gameplay reveal for the new Mortal Kombat 12 is tomorrow. Because that's a thing we do now. We announce AAA games and then don't show gameplay until like a month later. For some reason. gonna show you a movie now. Cool, thanks. Thought you were marketing a video game. Every time they announce a game now, you gotta question, are they actually gonna show the fucking game? Or are they gonna show a CG trailer? It doesn't tell you anything about the product. Other than we spent a lot of money to get this CG studio to make this little mini movie. Even though it's a video game. Not showing you what you need to like actually make an educated purchase. It's just a movie. What was wrong with Mortal Kombat 11? I'm not really into Mortal Kombat. Certain people didn't like that game. I don't really know much about it. I kind of grew out of Mortal Kombat when I was like 10. I haven't really played it since.
Yes.
Keep that beast quiet.
Shh. It's safe now. Nothing will get you up here. Solaya!
You know, when we first met, I assumed this connection you have with Lilith would lead you to darkness, as it has Elias. But after the good you've done here, maybe I was wrong. We shall see.
Yeah, I hear 9 and 10 were pretty fun, all things considered. The people seem to have fallen off 11 pretty fast.
While you were in the city, Oyun said the tunnel is in a hidden alcove.
Mortal Kombat gore was better when it was comical. I find it hilarious that growing up as like a first-generation millennial, how much like the media hated the old Mortal Kombat games, and it like wasn't even really that graphically violent. And now it's like straight up disturbing to watch that game, and no one talks about it. It's very very hard for me to understand. I'm like, dude, in those old games you would punch somebody and they would have like 10 rib cages and like 4 skulls come out. It was comical. It was still gory, yes, I'm not gonna say it wasn't gory, but it wasn't supposed to be taken seriously, but now it's so hyper-realistic, I can't even watch those games. It's disgusting. I should try Injustice 2, because that game doesn't have the gore porn. It's like, no one talks about it now. Before our game center closed here, there was a mom that kid couldn't have been any older than like 10 or 12, tops. He was a preteen. That kid was playing Mortal Kombat 11, and the mom didn't even bat an eye. Like, dude, it was a big deal. It was a big deal back then. Growing up in the 90s, like, Mortal Kombat is somehow teaching kids to bust skulls and stuff. Like, dude, if they're doing that, it's not the game's fault. And for one thing, the violence in the game was not even remotely realistic. It's basically one step up from like being like Looney Tunes violence. And now it's like straight up disturbingly realistic, and no one seems to care. I don't get it, man. It's way worse than the Mortal Kombat I grew up with. It's a huge deal. Like, Mortal Kombat is pretty much why we have, like, content ratings on video games now, like the M ratings and the T ratings and stuff. It's pretty much all because of Mortal Kombat. That game was what pushed the ESRB to be formed. But, like, nobody talks about how gory those games are now. It's weird. It's legit unsettling to watch that game. That's like why Mortal Kombat tournaments, pretty much ever since 9, they're not allowed to do fatalities at tournaments. They're legit banned from doing them. It doesn't matter if it's one of the more comical ones. You're straight up banned from doing fatalities at those events. You can't show it.
The Master calls forth the maiden. We will not disturb this.
Out of energy.
Look at all this. An archive of the forbidden, picked by Elias himself. He must be planning to summon Andariel somewhere else.
I wouldn't say that. There's plenty of successful Mortal Kombat
There might be some clues
content creators. They just don't show the fatalities. Luckily, the fatalities like, have no bearing on gameplay, so I mean, you can still be successful playing Mortal Kombat for sure. It's just you have to focus on the gameplay component. That's really all it is. Fatalities are completely pointless. I mean, they happen when the match is already over. They're just finishing animations.
Prophecy is
There's plenty of people that just do combo videos and matches and stuff, and they just don't show the fatalities. That's pretty much how they get away with doing tournaments for those games. Like at EVO and stuff, you can't show fatalities. They're strictly prohibited. They're not allowed to show them. There'd be a lot of problems if they did let them show those. Yeah, the gore in Mortal Kombat is like literally pointless. It doesn't add anything to the game. It has no bearing on the gameplay. I think Ninja Gaiden, the modern Ninja Gaiden games, like actually make the gore porn actually mean something, because you know, when you decapitate a ninja, their moveset changes, right? If you decapitate them, you have to prioritize them first, because they'll try to do a kamikaze attack. I think that's actually pretty cool. If you're gonna have gore porn in the game, it should have some kind of bearing on the game. But it's kind of just like Mortal Kombat. It doesn't really mean anything. It's just there. I think that's kind of why they came up with the X-ray attacks, because they wanted to have finishers that actually mean something. But, you know, the match has to continue, so they can't be, like, too gory. Most you can do is, like, punch or kick somebody really hard. But, you know, they still had to be able to fight. The gameplay can't change. Plus, the X-rays attacks allow them to have some of the presentation of the fatalities, but like not get in trouble for showing excessive violence. Pretty interesting, honestly. I really think that's why those are in the game. Some fatalities are pretty much a gimmick, but now with the advent of streaming and stuff, they're getting less and less relevant. You can't show them on YouTube, you can't stream them. Pretty much strictly for, like, private use only. It's weird that they put so much effort into them. Like, streaming games on the internet like I'm doing right now, they're less and less relevant. I mean, that's pretty much why Muso games don't have blood either. Because if they made one peon have like a drop of blood after being hit, they get an M rating. And that would really cut down on the amount of people that could play it. Because those games they're violent games, but they're not gory. They're something that a kid could play. That's why, like, Berserk has like such an easy M rating, even though the actual source material of Berserk is like way more unsettling. But just the fact that it has gore at all gives it an M rating, because the gore is multiplied by like 100 because it's a Muso game. They're never gonna put blood in Dynasty Warriors because they get an M rating and like kids couldn't play it anymore.
Mephisto.
Dual Mephistos. Hold them back! Need more time. We will never fall Kathos, lend me your strength.
Well.
I think the outrage over hot coffee is pretty funny now in retrospect. It's like Grand Theft Auto graphics suck. Parents were freaking out over it. Like, dude, if your kid had the technical savvy to unlock hot coffee, they're probably looking at raunchy stuff anyway, right? You should be more concerned about that. They're probably looking at the real stuff. Now there's just straight up like smut games that you can buy on Steam really easily. The hot coffee was like this huge deal.
What took you so
It's just like Mortal Kombat. Like no one seems to care anymore, but no one seems to care anymore, but like growing up it was like this huge deal. I think a lot of people did, yes. It wasn't legit unsettling. But like I said, they're basically not even relevant anymore because you can't show them on streams and stuff.
The way will be open.
Fatalities have been banned on fighting game tournaments for years now, like over a decade. They haven't been able to show them. Sponsors aren't gonna like seeing somebody get disemboweled when like every other fighting game is pretty tame violence-wise. I mean, people get hurt, but they're not like decapitated or anything. The sponsors didn't want to touch Mortal Kombat, so they had to make a compromise. You can't show fatalities. That's why you'll notice if you watch a Mortal Kombat tournament, when they get to the finish him prompt, they just kind of tap him on the shoulder and they keel over.
Do you hear something? Too late.
Got Brawly. That's Brawly.
We should get it.
I need to go all the way down there now, huh? Any of these worth doing? I think I'm gonna go ahead and stop there. Yeah. I'm gonna try something before I go. I'll go ahead and stop there. Play more later. Let's close this. I want to see if I can still play emulators while I'm on my alt controller, because the other one's got Fox Die. Let's see here. Can I do this the same way I do it on the Steam Deck, which is add it as a non-Steam game and it fixes the controller support? I'll try that really quick. Alright. Let's try that really quick. I'd rather not mess with Better Joy Simu if I could avoid it. Let's try it. Oh yeah, I think it is working. Alright. Yeah, Mortal Kombat violence was such a big deal growing up as a kid, like being an like first generation millennial. They made such a big deal out of it, and now it's like it's way worse, and no one seems to care. It's very jarring, I guess would be the word for it. Like, dude, that shit would have scarred me for life if I was a kid looking at that stuff. I can barely handle it now in my 30s watching those games. It's not working. Oh, I see what I did wrong. Hold on. I see what I did wrong. Maybe this will fix it. Come on, get the gameplay! Ah! Why does this game do that? It just doesn't load sometimes. Come on, I just want to test one thing. It's not wanting to work. I hate how many menus you gotta go through to get into gameplay these days. I just want to just push start and get straight into the game. You gotta sit through so many logos. Is it not working now? I think the controller stopped working. Come on, get the gameplay. Thank you. Let's just do a battle really quick, see if this works.
Judo.
Actually, let's not use the world map because I just want to make sure the controls are working. Because the other controller, it won't load games unless I unplug the controller. So I'm thinking I'll just use this for PS3. Seems like a good solution. Shinken. Oh, it's working fine. Alright, well there you go. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. I think I got a free pizza at Pizza Hut actually. I think I'm gonna go ahead and redeem that a little bit. And get some rest, because I gotta work at my neighbor's house tonight, so I should probably sleep. That took way longer than I thought it would. I thought it was only gonna be like an hour, and ended up being like over 2 hours. And tomorrow we're gonna do that again for the Summer Game Fest, so maybe I'll just play some emulators in the corner. I don't really think it's worth giving that stuff undivided attention, because you tend to get disappointed. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go. I'm probably not gonna stream again until I'm at my neighbor's house. I actually want to test Dawn of the Monsters and see if I can stream that, because if I can, then that's going to be really awesome when the DLC comes out. So I do want to test that tonight. So that'll probably be the next time I see you guys. I'll stream over at my neighbor's house, most likely. Probably after the cats are fed, either before or after. So I want to see how stable that game runs while I'm streaming, and I don't feel like doing it right now. So later tonight we'll test that to get ready for the DLC. I'll catch you guys later.